Take a look at this magical lamp. Who among you would like to have a personal wish-granting genie?
We are used to thinking of magical artifacts as sources of miracles. Lamps, rings, ancient objects. In legends, they always grant wishes. But what if none of those miracles were ever real? One of our listeners submitted a story that forces us to reconsider the very nature of magic. A story about an object that was believed to be a gift for centuries.
In this science fiction podcast, we explore how such an artifact actually works, why its effect fades over time,
And what remains when the illusion finally collapses.
Welcome back to The Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something a little different. A listener sent in a source that reads, well, almost like science fiction.
It's really fascinating narrative. It's all about a single reality-bending artifact.
Right. And our mission today is to unpack the mechanics of this thing. We're talking about an object that can grant wishes, but not in the way you'd think.
Not at all. The source material presented as something with a chillingly precise, almost calculated purpose.
So let's lay it out. We're looking at a lamp. It looks, a lot like the one from the Aladdin stories.
Pretty much, yeah. A classic copper lamp.
And the premise seems simple enough. Rub the lamp, make a wish, you get what you want.
But that's the illusion right from the start. The really dark twist in these sources is that the lamp doesn't change the world around you.
It changes you.
Exactly. It changes your perception, trapping you in this perfect, custom-made reality. It's a really sophisticated piece of, hardware.
Hardware. I like that. So to really get this, we have to go back to the beginning. The source says this starts 4,500 years ago.
That's right. The genesis of the deception. We're in the East. Picture a copper merchant just doing his job, crafting these elongated lamps for the market.
And one of these lamps is different.
Outwardly, no.
Yeah.
It's identical to all the others. But someone or something is watching him work.
This is the reptilian entity the source describes.
It is. This being is positioned as the architect of the whole mechanism. It's not magic in the spiritual sense. It's technology. It embeds a property, a kind of energy, directly into that specific lamp.
But why a lamp? I mean, if you have that kind of power, why not build something more obvious?
That's the key to the design, you see. It's not about showing off. It's about efficiency.
Efficiency for what?
For harvesting energy. A common, desirable object that can pass from hand to hand without suspicion is the perfect tool. It's designed to circulate.
So it's just lying in wait, dormant.
Exactly. It's waiting for a very specific trigger.
Yeah.
An intense, concentrated human desire.
Which brings us to its first victim.
Case study 1. The source focuses on an 18-year-old woman, and her emotional state is absolutely critical to this.
She's walking through a bazaar and she's just filled with this overwhelming anxiety.
A singular, powerful desire. All she wants is to meet a man, get married, and start a family. At that time, at 18, she felt this incredible societal pressure, this shame.
And that feeling, that raw emotion, is like a magnet for the lamp.
A perfect focused current. As she passes the merchant stall, that specific lamp just stands out to her. It seems to flicker in the sunlight, in a way the others don't.
So she's drawn to it. She buys it.
She does. She takes it home, and the activation process it's really subtle.
Not some big ritual.
No, not at all. She's alone and she just holds the lamp. The warmth from her hands combined with that intense desire is what fuels it. That's a trigger.
And she makes her wish.
She does. She asks for a tall, dark-haired, well-built man with deep river-like eyes. Very specific.
Boom. It happens.
Instantly, the entity uses its energy to generate the illusion. She looks out onto the street, and there he is, her dream man. They meet, they fall in love. It's perfect.
To her.
Only to her. This is where the source gives us that horrifying reality check.
So who is the man she actually married?
The real man is, repulsive. The source describes him as short, incredibly overweight, like a sphere. He's missing his front teeth, he drools constantly from the corner of his mouth, and he smells terrible.
My God. But she sees her prince.
She sees her prince. And here's where it gets really, really interesting. The wedding happens. Her whole family is there.
And they don't say anything.
They are completely silent. The source makes a point of this. They see the real man. They see this disaster their daughter is marrying. But she is in such a state of pure, blissful joy, they just let it happen.
Wow. The illusion is so powerful, it doesn't even need to affect anyone else. It just isolates her.
Completely. Trapped in her own private lie.
Yeah.
Which brings up the question, How long can an illusion that profound actually last?
Right. I mean, the brain is good at spotting when something is wrong.
Well, this is where the entity strategy comes in. It's a long-term investment. The illusion holds for about 5, maybe 6 years.
And in that time, they have children.
2 children. And to her, of course, they're also perfect. Beautiful little versions of her illusory husband. The trap is now fully set.
Because it's tied to her kids, her family. But you said 5 or 6 years, it doesn't last forever.
No. The illusion starts to peel away slowly. At first, she thinks she's losing her mind. She sees flashes, little cracks in her perfect reality.
And then
the whole thing comes crashing down. She finally sees her husband for who he is. And maybe even worse, she sees that her children look exactly like him, this hideous man she's been living with.
Oh, that's brutal.
Her reaction is just visceral. The source mentions constant headaches, nausea, a deep physical revulsion whenever he touches her.
So this is the payoff for the entity.
This is the harvest. Think about it. Why wait 6 years? Why spend all that energy maintaining a perfect illusion?
Because the crash is so much worse.
So much worse. It's not just sadness. It's a concentrated, explosive blast of negative energy. Fear, disgust, revulsion, and the most intense self-loathing you can imagine. Realizing she built a family with a monster she couldn't see.
It's like psychological farming.
That's a perfect way to put it. The illusion is just the field where the horror is grown.
Right.
And once it's harvested, the artifact is ready for its next user.
And that brings us to the second case study, a totally different desire.
Completely different. This time, it's a poor servant. He's not driven by love or shame. He's consumed by ambition.
He wants wealth, power.
And the submission of others. He wants people to obey him. The lamp, the very same one, is now in his wealthy employer's house. It found its way there.
Hiding in plain sight, and his desire draws him to it.
Like a moth to a flame, he steals it, runs to a secluded spot, and activates it. He wishes for authority, for power, for command.
And the wish is granted instantly again, but I'm guessing not how he expects.
Not even close. It's bizarre. He's immediately struck by a carriage.
He gets hit by a carriage.
He does. And it belongs to a very, very wealthy and very elderly woman. The source says she's between 75 and 80 years old.
And the illusion kicks in again.
Right on cue.
Yeah.
In reality, she's ancient, hunched over, covered in warts and age spots. But to the servant, she appears as a stunningly beautiful 20-year-old.
And she makes him an offer.
She offers him everything. Her entire fortune, her mansion, her status.
Yeah.
If he marries her.
And of course he says yes. He's seeing a beautiful young woman and a lifetime of wealth.
He agrees instantly. They have this grand wedding feast. He's 23, she's almost 80, but he has no idea.
So he thinks he's won. He's the master of this huge estate.
He believes he's in command. He spends his days walking around the mansion, ordering his staff around, giving commands. But the reality check in the source is, again, just terrifying. He isn't issuing orders to servants.
Who's he talking to?
He's talking to cats and dogs.
You're kidding.
For 5 years, he thinks he's a powerful master of a grand house, but he's just shouting orders at the household pets.
So his entire power structure is a complete lie. What happens when he finds out he's just been talking to animals this whole time?
Well, the pattern holds. The clock is always ticking on these illusions.
After 5 years, it collapses.
Just like the first case. He wakes up one morning, looks over at his wife, and he sees her for what she really is. An incredibly old, sickly woman who can barely even walk.
And his power, his authority.
It's not just gone, it's reversed. He's trapped. See, the old woman was happy to have a young husband for her final years, but she wasn't stupid.
She had arrangements made.
She had her assistant ensure he was basically a prisoner. He's confined to the estate. He has the wealth, sure, but he has zero freedom. He's guarded day and night.
Surrounded by the animals he thought were his staff?
Exactly. He lives out the rest of his life in that gilded cage. The entity got its energy from the shock, the humiliation, the fury of realizing his power was a joke and he was just a pet himself.
So we see the pattern, love and power, the two biggest human drivers.
And the artifact weaponizes them perfectly. It uses your deepest craving to isolate you in a lie, and then harvests the agony when that lie shatters.
So where's the lamp now? Is it still out there?
According to the source, no. It's been taken out of circulation.
Yeah.
It's now in the possession of someone who understands exactly what it is and how it works.
Like a collector.
More like a warden.
Yeah.
It's stored deep underground with lots of other similar artifacts, kept under glass like a weapon that's been decommissioned.
Which really brings us to the main takeaway for you listening. The critical part of this story isn't the reptilian entity, it's It's the mechanism itself. It's the gap between what we want to see and what's actually there.
And how our own desires can make us so vulnerable to deception. The real genius of the entity wasn't just creating an illusion. It was calculating the exact amount of time needed to turn total happiness into maximum suffering.
That's a dark thought.
It is, and it leads to a final, really provocative idea from the source material. We've been talking about this one, very specific, engineered illusion. But the source suggests, what if all these kinds of reality-bending influences were just, switched off tomorrow?
What would happen?
The implication is that seeing unfiltered reality, the raw conflicts, the true nature of things, would be too much. It would be completely overwhelming for us to handle.
So you're saying we create our own illusions just to get by?
Maybe. And that leaves us with a really chilling question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is the deception of the copper lamp just an extreme version of the little lies and cognitive filters we all use every single day just to function in the world? Something to think about as you look at the reality around you.